what is the legacy of Naveen Patnaik, which you will say, and what is Naveen Odisha? What is this term Naveen Odisha? One keeps reading everywhere and hearing about it.
Okay. So he doesn't stop with Naveen Odisha. He says Naveen Odisha is an empowered Odisha, where a poorest of poor person also will dream big, and he will be empowered to achieve his dreams. That's Naveen Odisha. Whatever is your ambition, aspiration, you should be able to achieve. We should create a environment. We should empower you. The government should empower you to achieve that. Whatever is your dream, in whichever field you have. That is the kind of narrative the Chief Minister wants to leave. When he took over in 2000, the state was affected by this super cyclone in 1999. He decided that Odisha should not be known for mishandling disasters. Odisha should be known for handling disasters in the best possible way. He put systems in place. He did a vulnerability mapping of the entire coast, put up systems, put up cyclone shelters, put up flood shelters, put up advanced warning systems. So in 2012, when Phylin super cyclone hit, everyone predicted that Odisha will be hit very badly. Thousands of people are going to lose their lives.
Yeah.
And a part of Odisha will be ripped apart. That's what was the prediction. The cyclone came, hit with 230, 240 kilometers per hour. But then, not a single life was lost. And Odisha was back into action in 10 days. Electricity was restored, water supply was restored. That is new Odisha. A Odisha which sets benchmark in anything which it was known for its negativity. So we had articles written in editorial. We can check in Google. New York Times wrote a front page editorial saying that if you want to save a million life, learn it from a state called Odisha. That is the time in New Orleans in US.
Oh,
A
yes.
cyclone of lesser magnitude had hit. It was only 150, 160 kilometers per hour, but hundreds of lives were lost.
Yeah.
So New York Times took a comparison between Odisha managing Phylin with 240 kilometers per hour and New Orleans or the US managing. So that is new Odisha. So if you take disaster management, this is the new Odisha in which people of Odisha should be able to stand and look at the eye of cyclone and cross it without fear. Then the new Odisha is a food deficit Odisha to a food surplus Odisha. We are not dependent on food from other states. We are supplying for the nation's food security. A Odisha which was known for poverty is known for the maximum reduction in poverty in the country, perhaps in Asia. From 68% poverty levels, we have come to 11% poverty levels. In the last 5 years, 1 crore 5 lakh people have been lifted above poverty line, new Odisha. So in every field, the Chief Minister wants to set a benchmark by which people of Odisha feel empowered and aspirational.
You know, when we talk about self-sustaining economic models, I have to ask you about since we are going into general elections soon, about the culture of freebies. Elections are won these days on freebies, which are everybody is doing competitive politics on freebies. What is your view about it? Because that is an allegation which is made even about your state, that caste doesn't work here, communal card doesn't work here. What works is freebies. So what is your view about this?
I think one should differentiate clearly between what you do to empower people and what you do to dilute people's ambitions by giving freebies. If you give health assurance, you are very progressive. It's not considered as freebie. The biggest budget we have is for health, the Biju Swasthya Kalyan health assurance scheme. Most states follow a model of health insurance. The Chief Minister decided in a state like Odisha, we should not allow a third party like an insurance to decide on how much money should be compensated for a heart patient or how many for a kidney patient. So he went for an assurance model of health. We are covering 90% of the population with health assurance. 5 lakh rupee for the family, and if it's a woman patient, it's 10 lakh rupees. Think the empowerment it does.
This is different from the central scheme?
We are having our own scheme. We are not implementing the center scheme.
Why?
because our scheme is much advanced and much progressive. So we don't have competition with it. The chief minister thought that we have to run the extra mile in a state like Odisha.
So that Ayushman Bharat scheme doesn't work here.
No, the state has not implemented.
Okay.
If we had implemented Ayushman Bharat, we would be covering 55 to 60% of the population. Here we are covering 90% of the population. He wants to take it to 100% population.
How come then there is no confrontation? Because when Mamta does the same thing Mamta Banerjee does it in Kolkata, where she says, I don't want the central scheme, I'll do my state scheme, there's confrontation.
Here,
But
Naveen Patnaik doesn't do for the sake of confrontation. He is convinced that people of Odisha need that extra mile running to take care of their needs. Because he thinks health is one issue which can bring down. If in a family a health issue happens, a person who has just come out of poverty, he can slip back to poverty. And it will take at least 2 generations for him to come back again. So he strongly believes that if you have to fight poverty, then you have to assure health. And you have to do it in the best possible way. I may say that this is the best scheme in the country right now, which has 90% of the population being covered. And the state is spending about 260 crores a month, which is about 3,200 crores a year. You may take the country's Ayushman Bharat ka health budget only for treatment purpose. How much is it? It will be 9,000 crores or something. If a state like Odisha is spending 3,000 odd crores, so that is the reach the chief minister wants to give.
It's an ambitious project.
It's an aspirational reach. He wants to cover. So that is why there is no competition. The state wanted to do something extra for the people. So Naveen Patnaik implemented Biju Swasthya Kalyan Yojana, which is a game changer.